Hi, it's Veganuary day 18 and today we are going to have a rummage through my cupboards.
So here we are in the kitchen. I've been joined by the little fat Evie. Evie, come and say hello. Who is hoping that it might be her dinner time soon, although it's actually only 3 o'clock, but she lives in hope. So she's just wandering over to near her food bowls because I'm near her bowls, so it might be food time. I'm afraid it's not, girly. So, onto my cupboards. I've taken a few things out so that you can see, and you have to remember I live with James, he's not vegan, so there's a little bit of contraband in my cupboards, but I have removed it, so hopefully it's all gone. Okay, now what we've got here is obviously sunflower oil. This is organic ketchup from Lidl. I've got my black pepper and my salt. Very important, I do a lot of cooking. So, in my cupboards we have Cocoa Pops. The genuine ones are vegan friendly. Woohoo! The non-genuine ones may not be, so be a little bit careful there because I got caught out at Lidl the other day. So, balsamic glaze, oh yeah, French's mustard, yeast, I do a lot of baking. Oh, the curry sauce, this is great with chips. The sweet curry sauce. You have to be a little bit careful of curry sauces when you go to a chip shop because they're not always vegan friendly. They can have a little bit of dairy in them. Got some, what's this? Oh, toasted sesame oil for when I'm doing Chinese cookery. Got some distilled vinegar. I actually use this for cleaning and for making screen wash apart from anything else. That's more something I use for household cleaning rather than actually for eating. So yeah, got some sauces, brown sauce, we've got barbecue sauce, they're usually pretty safe, obviously check them. Moving up, this is like my little baking section up here. Custard powder, yay, that's vegan, you just got to make it with soy milk or a plant milk. Got my spirulina, always good, I always put some of that in my smoothies, I want to live forever. So we've got my flours up here, that's my bread flour, got my corn flour for thickening the sauces, there's various bits of yeast. My baking flours here, which is lovely. This product I highly recommend. This is wonderful. I can get it out without everything falling out. This is an egg replacement called No Egg, and it is really, really good. I've had some fantastic results with it, and you will see me using it quite a lot when I put up recipes. So, moving on to my next cupboard. Da 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 da. Can you name this product? This is Marmite, of course. If you're from the UK, you will know this product, or if you visited us, it's amazing. It's one of my favourites. This is actually a vegan chocolate spread made with carobs, because I just really like carob. That's a really nice one. That one was quite expensive. That was $3.99. Oh, so I don't buy that very often. Peanut butter is usually pretty safe, and yes, you saw the word bacon. Bacon crumbles. So these are the bacon crumbles that were in my cupboard, and this is worth noting that these are completely vegan, and they're like these kind of little crunchy, crispy bits, look a bit like cat biscuits, but they're very nice on top of a salad or, you know, on top of a jacket potato or something. They add a bit of crunch. You can put them on top of soup for a bit of flavour. They don't taste of bacon, they kind of really taste more like onion and the smoky flavours that you get from a smoked bacon, really. I mean, I never liked bacon myself, but these are really nice. It's worth noting that things that are flavoured with like barbecue beef or bacon flavouring are very often completely vegan, so there's actually no meat in them whatsoever and never was, and they can be quite nice. So what do we have here? I've moved things around a little bit because my memory card ran out, so now my green split peas are on this shelf as well. What have we got here? Oh yes, sliced water chestnuts. I do like to do authentic cookery as far as I can, so those will go in a stir fry very soon. Oh yes, balsamic vinegar, absolutely lovely. Got some dried herbs in jars that I've dried myself back here. We've got some sage and some thyme. Sage is one I like to keep in the cupboard because it's very good for sore throats if you make it into a tea and then let it cool and gargle with it. So coconut milk, that will be for my next curry. Baked beans, got some couscous at the back there. This is icing sugar back here, ready for the next time I make a cake. Peanut butter, of course. I mean, what vegan doesn't have peanut butter in their cupboard? Very, very useful as well. I sometimes use it for thickening sauces and adding sort of a creamy element to sauces. And with the Marmite, actually, that's very useful if you've run out of stock. I use vegetable stock cubes. You do have to be a little bit careful with stock cubes because they're not always vegan, even if they're vegetable stock. So do be cautious, check the ingredients. If I run out of those, you can actually just put a little sort of half a teaspoon of Marmite in some hot water and dissolve it, and that can work very, very nicely as a stock. So that's a good cheat if you get caught out. You will see pegs everywhere in my cupboards. I like to use wooden pegs to hold packets together. I don't like plastic as far as possible. I always try and use natural products where I can. Got some quinoa in the back here. There it is. This was quite a cheap one actually. It was only like £1 from Lidl, and I still haven't worked out what to do with it yet, so that'll be something to come. Coming up to the top now, I've got my rice and pasta up here. Got some red lentils. These are very, very inexpensive to get hold of. I think this is a giant bag. This was about £1 for 2 kilos. You really can't go wrong. This is a mixture of rice and wild rice. I've got my arborio rice back there for making... oh no, the peg fell down. There we go. For making risotto. That's the special Italian rice you use for risotto, which I get quite cheaply from Lidl. Big fan of Lidl, as you can tell. Some pasta there. Pasta's usually pretty safe. Just check it's not egg pasta and you should be alright, but check the ingredients. Then we've got a couple of packets of noodles back here. I really like instant noodles, or ramen noodles as I think they're called on the other side of the pond. These are chicken flavour, and of course there's no chicken in them whatsoever. These are from Lidl and they are actually labelled for vegetarians and vegans. Just down here. Lidl are actually quite good at labelling things correctly. Don't know how well you can see that. They are quite good at labelling things for vegans. So we've got some tahini in the back there because I do like to make my own hummus. And over here we've got some rice noodles that I discovered at Asda the other day, which I'm going to be using for something exciting in due course. Now, down the bottom of my cupboard, this is my spice section. I have a lot of spices. I tend to buy large bags of spices. That's probably a 1 kilo bag of cumin because I use a lot of cumin, huge amounts of cumin. I'm a big fan of curries and spicy food. So we've got cumin, ginger, coriander, paprika, chilli, cinnamon. Got some dried basil at the side, a couple of herbs over here, parsley and lemon seasoning, bits and pieces. Some lime pickle. That's a really nice one. The Patex one is quite authentic tasting. I like mango chutney as well, but I've run out at the moment. The empty mango chutney jar is actually up here with thyme in it that I've dried because I like to keep my own spices. The sweet chilli dipping sauces, they tend to be vegan, but do be cautious because I did find one that wasn't, although it was labelled vegetarian. And when I took this up with the manufacturer, they basically ignored me, so nice. Chilli, what's this? Star anise. Oh, this little pot has a mixture of olive oil and balsamic vinegar that I mixed up one day to dip some bread into that I'd made. That's always nice. What's this? Soy sauce. Many, many more spices, cardamoms, turmeric, goodness knows what else. So do love spices, and they're all from plants. And this is the thing, when people say, you know, oh, I couldn't go vegan, it must be really bland and boring. Well, no, actually all the spices and herbs, they're all plants. They're all from plants. What do you mean it's going to be boring? Of course it's not going to be boring, it's going to be amazing. So, moving over to my third cupboard. Now, this one I found in Lidl the other day, the Twinings Swiss chocolate drink. It is nice. I actually prefer the Cadbury's one. As a general rule, if you're buying drinking chocolate, just get the one that says just add milk. Just add milk. Definitely don't add mink to it. Just add milk. That's usually pretty safe. So do check the ingredients. I've got some herby teas back here. Do like herbal teas. They are usually safe, but some of them contain things like extracts of honey, so be a little bit careful there and always read the labels, make sure what you're eating, a bit of bread and some Ryvita. Ryvitas, most of them are vegan. Again, check the ingredients. The original ones are fine, the dark ones are fine, not all of them are. Here we have some banana malt loaf. It's the Soreen brand. I really like malt loaf, and I was horrified when I went vegan and found out that regular malt loaf is actually not vegan. The banana one is. Okay, presumably they've used bananas instead of eggs or something to bind the mixture together. It is very nice. It's not quite the same, but it's better than nothing. So I'm quite happy to have that instead. I've got my tea bags and sugar and coffees and bits and pieces back here. This is a lovely tea that was sent to me as a gift. This is beautiful. This is Bramble Cottage tea. It's really, really wonderful. And it tastes divine, blackberry and vanilla and rose, and very, very posh tea. So do get some if you can get hold of it, and just instant coffee. other things at the back there. More tea bags, of course. You know, I am English, I drink a lot of tea. So moving up. These are the ingredients I use for baking and cooking. So we have golden syrup, which I will use quite a lot if I'm making flapjacks. This is TVP, textured vegetable protein. Now this is a really good one if you've just gone vegan. Now there's a plastic peg on that one. Where did I get a plastic peg from? That can't be mine. TVP, it basically looks like kibble for dogs, okay? It's not. It is a vegan alternative to meat chunks. That is useful if you've literally just gone vegan and you're looking for something to replace like pieces of meat in a dish, or if you're trying to cook for somebody who isn't vegan, who would want something. This is a really, really good option, and it's really quite nice. You have to soak it first in water. I usually soak it in water with a stock cube to give it a bit more flavour. And that is a very nice addition to many dishes. You can put it like in a jar of curry sauce if you've been really lazy. We've got here some ground rice. I should be using that in due course. Desiccated coconut. We've got some dates and toasted almonds and seeds. I really love my pumpkin seeds. I toast these and put them on top of soup. That's a really nice thing. Oh, this is a soft brown sugar. That one's for baking only. That's not for putting in tea. And then we've got some nuts here. I do tend to buy my nuts at Lidl because it's very cost effective to do it there. It's much cheaper than other places. So I've got cashews, I've got Brazil nuts, and I've got walnuts up there, and they go in various different recipes. I use cashews a lot when I'm cooking savoury, so if I'm doing some sort of curry, very often I'll put a handful of cashews in, and that's very nice because they go quite soft and they take on a really nice sort of soft, creamy consistency, and they work very, very well, especially with the creamier curries with like coconut milk, the coconut curries. So at the top of my cupboard you will see a teeny tiny blender. Now this is actually a hand blender. It's not an electrical one at all, it's actually a manual one. This is a vegetable spiralizer I have that I was given as a present, which I still haven't worked out what to do with, which I will one day, but the weather hasn't been too good here, so I haven't been too keen on eating cold food. But this is a hand blender, which I picked up from the charity shop for like, I think it was £3.99, so about £4, because I needed a blender to make my hummus and I couldn't afford one, and that just popped up in the charity shop, and I thought, oh, thank you very much, universe, I'll have that. So I do that by hand. And then this isn't very interesting, it's just my Tupperware boxes and my Hello Kitty mug, because I am a grown-up.
So that was the contents of my kitchen cupboards. I hope that was interesting. Please do leave a comment below if you saw something, you wanted to know what it was or what to do with it. That's basically the things that I can't live without, that I use on a daily basis in vegan cookery. And as you can see, the range is not limited at all, and most of it is very, very normal stuff that you can find in pretty much any kitchen. So I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Remember to subscribe below and leave a comment with your favourite vegan staple.